Ash.
Taryne.
So I have a fun fact for you today. Mm-hmm. That's going to help everybody.
Okay.
Okay? It's going to help you all.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that we are technically at our, well, not me trying to get like creative and then not making sense. We are more creative in the shower. Did you know that?
I didn't know that, but I believe that.
Just let me follow up with some science. So warm water increases the flow of dopamine, which makes you more creative. Which, like, I do think a lot in the shower. Like, my brain will, like, go. But now knowing this, like, how epic would that be if you, like, go into the shower with that intentional thought of, like, I'm going to brainstorm work things.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to, like, try to think about, like, an argument I had, like, how I can approach it. Or, like, being more intentional about it.
Yeah. I fully believe that. I think, like, as creatives, the best way to be even more creative is to, like, allow yourself space and no distractions. And shower time is a regularly scheduled time where you cannot have your phone. You cannot. I mean, you could be listening to music, I guess, but if you were extra intentional and, like, didn't listen to a music or a podcast while you're in the shower, then let's utilize that time.
Dude.
Literally tonight, I'm going to be like, okay, hot shower activated, no phone activated. Let's go.
Today's episode is brought to you by Lumi.
I am obsessed with scents. I'm obsessed with my perfumes. I'm obsessed with good smelling deodorants, and I'm constantly recommending them to my friends. The thing I love the most about Lumi is not only does it smell amazing, but you can literally put it anywhere on your body. I'm talking pits, under boobs, thigh folds, belly buttons, literally anywhere, even on your feet. Created by an OBGYN who saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. It's clinically proven to block odor all day long and control odor for up to, get this guys, 72 hours. Not 24, 72.
Lumi Starter Pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get $5 off a Lumi Starter Pack with code ADVICE at LumiDeodorant.com. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack when you visit Lumi, L-U-M-E, deodorant.com and use code ADVICE. And then I wonder, I shouldn't even say this because what if it's not out there and then I could get rich? Could I use this podcast as proof?
Well, I mean, no. It doesn't work that way.
Copyright starting now. I wonder if people have like whiteboard type things that work in the shower.
I'm sure they do. Okay, like a notepad.
But like, imagine if you had that and then you're like in the shower and you get like a really good idea and you're like, oh, and you like write it out.
What was that? It's not Etch-a-Sketch, but what was that notepad that everyone had as kids that had the plastic pen that wrote in like electric?
Oh, like the pressure did like, yeah.
What was that called?
I don't know, but
I wonder if that's shower safe.
Can I do in the shower? So, you're welcome, everybody.
Should we?
Your next big idea is partly to do with me telling you to do it in the shower. So.
In a couple months from now, when we drop our shower notepad UA merch,
dude,
you'll know where it came from.
Copyright. It's copywritten.
Can't take this from us.
The courts will hear this. Imagine that we did try to use it in court, and right now we're talking about the court.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm going to make eye contact with the judge right now.
Choose us.
We win. Anyways, hello, everybody.
What's up, UA fam? Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Ashley.
I'm Taryne.
And this is our podcast that we've had for over 4 years now.
Yeah, we have.
We're really out here doing the damn thing.
We are.
Quick PSA. We have merch. We've had merch.
We do.
And we still have merch. And we have so much merch to give to you guys. We have mugs. We have hats. We have 2 types of totes. I think we even still have some hoodies available. So definitely check out the website and get your UA merch now. Now or never. I had a moment the other day.
You had a moment?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
It's already June.
Uh-huh.
We're like halfway through June.
Uh-huh.
July, August, September.
Uh-huh.
October series isn't that far.
Okay. I was like, where's she going with this? But
October series is not that far.
I know. Me and Ash are like already in process of brainstorming. I mean, I'm a little biased just because I love October series more than anything. But I also love our October series merch.
Yeah, it's always a good one.
I still wear the it was probably the boyfriend or it's always the boyfriend.
Yeah.
Whatever. That sweatshirt all the time. Like I love our October merch. And so me and Ash are already brainstorming like the next drop, which is going to be cool. But yeah, and October, I feel like every time I talk to somebody about the podcast, they're like, I love your October series.
Yes.
Like
or
always.
I feel like I've gotten a couple emails or DMs lately of people being like, yeah, I love listening to your guys' podcast, but I've also listened to your October series multiple times.
Yes.
Like they've listened to like series 1, 2, 3, and 4 multiple times because they loved it so much.
It's epic.
So very interesting.
Ooh, I need to start like saying my nightly prayers now, getting in a good headspace because
Staging your room.
last season got me.
Last season was scary.
I was ready for it to be done because I was like, not well.
But yeah, looking forward to this year's October series merch. Reminder that we have merch available on our website. Also check out our socials on Instagram.
Yeah. So, one thing about our merch too is what's left is just the like small leftover amount that we had from previous drops. So it's not going to just like always be there. So definitely like go get it while you can.
Yes.
Second is we also decided because we do have it's been chilling there, right? They're great pieces, but we know like some people, whether they like can't afford it or maybe they just like haven't thought about it, we wanted to kind of like use some of those pieces to like, I don't know, have some fun. I'm a competitive being. So we're going to start doing some like fun, just like contests to get out some of our merch, but also just to engage with you guys. So if you follow us on Instagram, which is Unsolicited Advice Pod.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Then every time, dude. But you know what? You know those things where you've got it wrong once, so then you second guess yourself and you just always.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with that. If you follow us on Instagram, we've already done a couple of them, I think, like 1 or 2 on Instagram. So we're also going to do today a podcast / YouTube exclusive contest.
Yes, we are.
Okay? Get ready, Ash.
I'm ready.
Think of a number 1 through 10.
Okay.
Just think. So, if you are listening right now to the podcast, you need to head over to our YouTube channel, find this section, which we're at like minute 6-ish, and look at the screen. Michaela, if we can make sure Ash is on screen. Ash is going to hold up a number. The first person to comment the number that she's going to hold up right now wins the contest. So, ready, Ash? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. What number she hold it up? You don't even know unless you're watching YouTube.
Oh my God.
So, congratulations to whoever commented it fastest. And all of you listening are like, this sucks. But also be safe. But also, pull over. Go comment. Congrats.
Comment.
Whoever did it, congrats.
How was your weekend, Taryne?
My weekend was good. I stayed home. Everyone was like busy, which was nice because it gave me like a guilt-free, just like staying home weekend.
Which you should have guilt-free no matter what.
No, for sure. But you know, when like I'm one of those people, like if someone's like, hey, you want to hang out? Like I feel bad being like, no, just to like sit at home and watch Love Island, you know? So, which by the way, I started another season. It's fine.
No.
I am in a better mental
How long did
place.
you last? Without
A
starting the
while.
other? Yeah.
Like months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Months.
This is
Not plural.
I don't know about that. But yeah, so I just stayed home. Also, it's been exciting, and I want to talk about this. So I've had a couple videos that have like done really, really well recently, and it's been exciting because I feel like I've with my content, I've been trying to find and fit into like what is like relevant and out there. But then I started posting just like my weird stuff, right? Like, and the way I want to post it, like me being weird, my personality, and like different DIY projects or decor stuff, whatever. And they've like done really well, like kind of taken off. So it was exciting. But with that comes, I've had a couple trolls, Ash.
God Damn, those trolls.
Those freaking trolls. And so I wanted to have a conversation, but I'm wondering if we should put this in pause before we talk about how your week is, or should we just go with it now?
No, let's go with it now.
Okay. So I posted this thing about a claw clip thing, right? Most people were just putting their rude opinions, like, it's not rude opinions. Their opinions in a rude manner. Whatever, that's fine. But I had a guy comment because I said I'm addicted to claw clips. And he said, looks like you're also addicted to food.
Oof.
The audacity. But it was so funny because, like, I read it, and it's so great because I think it just shows leaps and bounds, like, where I've come from, because that comment could have done damage to me, like, a while ago. Now I literally read it and was like, oh, good one, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I ended up deleting it because one, I didn't want it to be triggering for anyone else. 2, I knew I wanted to address it, and I didn't want to get into the whole, like, people go and then everyone's like DMing him and reporting it. Like, because whatever. He obviously has his own issues he needs to deal with, and it's not about him. Whatever.
Send me his contact. Me and my people can attack him.
Yes. But what I did want to talk about is, I just, as far as internet hate, I've just been like on this thing where I just don't quite understand it. Like, I feel like those people would not talk to somebody in real life the way that they talk to people online.
Oh, of course not.
Also,
they're all cowards.
For
the only
him,
reason they're doing it online is because they feel safe too. Is because they.
But
they don't
also,
have
like,
face.
why? Like, if you started telling me about this cool thing you did in your house, right? I'm not joking. Probably never would it cross my mind to start ripping apart your idea and telling you it's dumb and it's not going to work. Like, I'd just be like, oh, that's cool. Like, because it's your thing. Like, why should I have an opinion about it? Second, how, like, this man, boy, would he talk to the women in his life like that? Or how would he respond if someone told his mom, basically, because what he basically told me is I was fat, right? Like, basically, in those words. If someone talked to his sister, his mom, his girlfriend in those ways, like, how would he feel?
Yeah.
So it just boggles my mind the way that people are not able to separate out, like, the golden rule of you treat people how you would want to be treated or how you would want them to treat the people you love. And it's like, every TikTok I see, mainly on TikTok, but Instagram too, you open the comment section and immediately all you see are these just personal, like, digs at these people and people making fun of them. And it just, to me, is so sad that has become this platform for people to just spew out, like, hatred.
Yeah.
Like, it's so sad. Like, why?
Yeah, I think that's just humanity. I think people
For
suck.
sure. But I do think it's getting worse. And I just think it's, like, so bizarre. It's so bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, I think the internet is just a safe place for people who are hurting to reach out and hurt people because they're miserable. And that's 90% it. Also, I think 90% of them are 12-year-old trolls who are just stirring trouble to stir trouble.
No, absolutely.
But yeah.
But
people suck.
Nuts?
People suck.
I'm so lucky that I've luckily not been in that realm. Like, both of us, I feel like I've been really lucky to have mostly positive interactions. But that was the first time really I've had that. And I was just it obviously started me thinking and just thinking, like, what made you go out of your day to, like, say that to someone? You know what I mean? It's just it's so mind-blowing. I wish him the best.
A toxic person.
I hope he gets help for whatever.
And he's probably single and lonely and hates life and has no friends and lives in his mom's basement. Like, that's just reality.
And, like, you don't know what's going on with people. Like, imagine if I actually took the time to message him and be like, oh, hey, by the way, the reason I gained a lot of weight is because I had cancer in my thyroid. Like, how do you feel now?
Yeah.
Do you want to say that comment now? Like, it's just so mind-blowing to me of, like, how people are willing to, like, tear other people and they don't know them at all. They don't know their life. It's just nuts.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Hurting people hurt people, they say.
Absolutely. But yeah, anyways, I just think internet hate is the weirdest thing to me, and it's so sad. And I know it's just going to get worse and worse, but
The more
Gross.
famous we get, Taryne,
I am
the more haters going to hate.
now famous.
Prepare yourself.
But it's fine. I just delete them. I don't care. I'll delete any comment I want. I have nothing to prove. If you bother me, bye. I have no problem.
As you should.
Yeah. Anyways, Ash, how was your week?
It was great. I went camping. It was serene. And I feel like my soul is full.
I feel like you thrive. Do you think it's like the fact that you don't have service too that helps you to...
I think not having service, I think being in nature, I'm constantly listening to like chill music or reading or sitting and just like listening to nature. It's great. And then the last spot that we camped at this past weekend was like right next to a river. So I had white noise while I slept and it was
oh my gosh,
game changing. I slept pretty good.
You had like real white noise.
Yeah. I mean, I pay for the Calm app
yeah.
and I listen to it every single night when I go to bed because it helps me like lull myself to sleep. Sleeping by a river does the same thing, turns out. So that was really nice and relaxing too. And originally we thought about inviting like a bunch of people to go camping with us. And I was like, not this weekend, especially post Italy. I was like, I just want to like, and something I appreciate about my boyfriend is me and him can sit and not talk.
Yeah.
And it's great for me.
Yeah.
And so that's a small picture of like what it was like this weekend. And I was ready for Monday. Like I like woke up this morning and I was like, all right, let's do this, you know?
No, that's good. You felt like super refreshed.
Yes.
I love that for you.
It was so nice.
I love that for you. Today's episode is brought to you by Lumi. Who doesn't want to smell good, Ash? Who?
I do.
You do?
I do want to smell good.
You do want to smell good.
I do want to smell good.
Me too. And let's face it, our underarms aren't the only place we have odor. That's why we are so pumped to be telling you about Lumi's whole body deodorant. We're talking for all the things, all the areas that you know, should be conscious of.
I am obsessed with scents. I'm obsessed with my perfumes. I'm obsessed with good smelling deodorants, and I'm constantly recommending them to my friends. The thing I love the most about Lumi is not only does it smell amazing, but you can literally put it anywhere on your body. I'm talking pits, underboobs, thigh folds, belly buttons, literally anywhere, even on your feet. Created by an OBGYN who saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. It's clinically proven to block odor all day long and control odor for up to, get this guys, 72 hours, not 24, 72. It is aluminum-free, baking soda-free, and paraben-free, so it's good for your body. It's pH balanced and safe to use below the belt, and you can choose from a variety of fresh, bright scents like clean tangerine, lavender sage, or if you want to be like in the more summery mood, toasted coconut.
Lumi's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get $5 off a Lumi starter pack with code ADVICE at lumideodorant.com. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack when you visit Lumi, L-U-M-E, deodorant.com and use code ADVICE.
All right, well, it is Taryne It Up time. As you guys know, this is my favorite segment of the podcast where you guys send in funny stories and Taryne and I get to laugh at you.
With you.
And at you.
With you.
It's a little bit both. Let's get into it. This one is titled, Imagine Me Publicly Flying Off a Treadmill Like a Leaf in the Wind.
Stop. I love those videos on TikTok more than anything.
They write, Hi, Ashley and Taryne. My name is Rebecca, and you can say my name. I absolutely love your podcast, and I have a little Taryne It Up for you. I truly, sadly feel I am the only one that this has happened to and feel compelled to submit and see if anyone else shares this trauma. It involves middle school PE class where all the good Taryne It Ups begin.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. I was in 8th grade. I had gym with all of my friends, including several cute guys, one of whom I ended up dating later that year. Ooh.
Love that.
One day, the teacher split us into gendered groups. Thank God, she has in parentheses afterwards. And he took the girls to the weight room while the boys used the rock wall right outside. The weight room, they have a rock wall?
Dude, I was like, what in the bougie? Like, you have a treadmill and a rock wall? I had like a handball pole.
I had
or what's that called?
Football field that I ran on. That's literally what I had.
We had tetherball.
Yeah.
We played with rocks.
I feel like our age is showing. The weight room had a bunch of exercise machines, and I started using the treadmill. Being someone who liked to run, I figured the treadmill was more or less the same as like running outside. I pushed the button to make it go faster and faster until I was sprinting. I was cracking jokes with all my friends, being classic funny Rebecca and feeling so cool. She has in parentheses, I'm like so hilarious, guys. And I decided to take a break, jumping my feet to both sides of the treadmill. After catching my breath, I decided to hop back on.
Oh, no.
God, it's a big mistake.
Not when you're at sprint speed.
Only the treadmill was still sliding as fast as I had been sprinting. I had not learned proper treadmill etiquette yet. My feet slid off right behind me, and I somehow grabbed the arms of the treadmill in desperation. Imagine my arms holding on tightly as my body is literally flailing and being flung behind me in an up and down motion as the treadmill continued to run full speed. Like a flapping leaf in the wind. I started yelling, turn it off, turn it off. My gym teacher finally did, and I flew off the back of the treadmill. Embarrassed, I stood up and tried to make a joke, smiling like, wow, let's do that again. But my teacher decided we should stop using the treadmill for the rest of the day.
Did she have any skin left on her legs?
Right. My knees were so bruised. I started wearing sweatpants to PE instead of shorts because everyone would just give me for it. It was a very high talking point amongst all of the witnesses. The redeeming factor of this story is the absolute Lord-like blessing that my future boyfriend did not witness such an event because he was with the boys group, and also that it is the perfect embarrassing story to send in to my favorite podcast.
Aww.
I hope someone else can smile over my disaster. I've attached a picture that describes who I was in 8th grade. This picture was discovered by my friends in college and now unfortunately has 182 likes and over 112 comments. It is a historic moment in my life. Love, Rebecca. I mean, the emo bang swoop.
But it's giving like Carly Rae Jepsen. Yeah.
But she has the little digital camera.
Yeah.
I don't think she said how old she is now. So I'm curious if she's like our age.
I feel like that fits very much. Like she's probably younger than us because I feel like I went through that when I was in like just going into high school, but she looks younger. So she's probably like a little bit younger than us. That's what my guess would be.
I feel like my hair looked exactly like that in my freshman year of high school. Yeah. 8th grade freshman year. Yep, 100%. Well, thank you for sending it in. If you guys have any funny stories like this, stop what you're doing. Write it to us. We need them.
Yes. Also, Rebecca, I don't know if you've seen, there's a video that's been going around TikTok, which we should try to find it and post it because it literally made me like die. But it was that like a girl fell on the treadmill and caught herself, but the treadmill ripped her pants all the way down. So then it was just like her butt and she's like flailing and then like goes off.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine being straight up like pants?
I would never recover from that.
Oh, I would never
recover from that.
Never.
I would cancel my membership, move cities, and find a new gym.
Before I left, I would say, can I get a recording of your security tapes?
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, you know what you should do? You should sue the company for the treadmill taking your clothes off.
Yeah.
It's a traumatic event for you.
It is traumatic. Anyways, wow. I love the treadmill.
I feel like we've had a lot of good like gym tearing it ups lately.
Yeah.
If you have a good gym tearing it up, an embarrassing story from the gym, send it in.
And guys, the only reason I don't have embarrassing things that happen to me at the gym is because I don't go.
That's a good way to make sure that never happens to you.
And that's on live. Okay. Should I get into my story?
Let's do it.
All right. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get into my story. I do have a disclaimer before we start this. We are going to be talking about someone who struggled with drug addiction. So if you are someone who is triggered by this topic or just addiction in general, please be just wise about if this is something you should listen to or if maybe you need to like skip through. Also, if you are someone who struggles with that, there are resources out there that can help you For example, there's a national helpline that is 1-800-662-HELP, which is 4357. You can reach out to. There's plenty of stuff online, so please get help if you need it, or if a loved one is also going through this, use those resources. But I just wanted to give that little disclaimer before we get into today's story. So this story is titled, Like Fox, I'll Rise Again.
Ooh.
We love a Harry Potter. I'm sure, is a fox like outside of Harry Potter too? No, because that's not real. Right?
Do you mean Finks?
Fox.
Am I thinking of something different? Phoenix.
But the fox is his name.
Oh,
You know?
okay.
A phoenix is the bird.
Got it.
But I don't think that's real.
What?
Is there a real bird?
No.
Phoenix? That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Taryne and Ashley. My name is Amanda. I'm 33. I live in Florida, and I have been obsessed with you guys for years now. Your podcast has become my therapy. Anyway, I'm writing in because for the last 2 years, I have been in an extremely dark place in my life, but have just recently started to come out of it. This is darker than what you typically read, but was hoping you could help a friend in need. Let's rewind. I met Joe at work in the summer of 2014. He was tall, shy, sweet, and the sous chef asking the host out is precious, right? That is cute. We dated for years. He introduced me to his daughter from a previous relationship, and in May 2018, we had our son, and in November 2019, we had our daughter. But my truth is that we were both struggling with drug addiction. Restaurants, man. I have heard, I've worked in a restaurant before, and like a lot of the people that like would hang out outside of work, like drugs were a very big thing that would go on.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard multiple people say that that has happened when they worked in restaurants, like that would be something they would like do on the outside. So I don't know if that's just like a known thing, but I mean, obviously she's mentioning it here. In May 2021, Joe passed away from a fentanyl overdose in our home. That was the day I woke up, but also the day my life would change forever. I am now 2 years sober. Besides just losing the love of my life, over the last 2 years, I've lost my relationship with his older daughter, his family, and even my own. Some blame me for his death because I never spoke up about our addiction. Some don't like that I moved on. I have met a new guy, Matt, and he has been there for me through a lot of anxiety attacks, crying fits, my kids' potty training, starting pre-K, birthdays, etc. He makes me smile and laugh again. All this being said, I still miss Joe and cry a lot when I think about him and all he's missing out on. How can I express to Matt that my past feelings may still be big and hard, but that he means the world to me now? How can I make this family seem right even if something still feels missing? Thanks in advance if you read this. I just want the happy family my child self always wanted. I am Fox, rising from the ashes and reborn to a better person, wishing I could restore my relationship with my mother too, but I also feel free from all the people who made me feel less than. Any thoughts are appreciated. Love, Manda.
Oof.
This email completely broke me because I can't even imagine, first of all, losing someone in that way and the feelings that come with guilt because you were also taking part in the thing that ended up being like the end for them.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine having to be the one that is seen as the enemy in something that you also are so vulnerable in. And I can't imagine like becoming sober, having to try to build your life, which is a time where you need so much support, but a massive part of who was your support now not only is not in your life, but like hates you. Like I for me, reading this, it just, I mean, my heart completely breaks for you, Amanda. And honestly, I mean, it breaks for everyone. Like that's the hard thing, is it's really easy to sit on the outside and tell people what is the right or wrong way to grieve or what is the right or wrong way to like deal with loss. But in reality, everyone deals with it different and everyone has to deal with it in their own process. But it's hard when you're the victim of the repercussions of how someone else has to grieve and how do you give them the freedom to do that, but also protect yourself from being affected by it. Like it just, this whole situation just breaks my heart in like every area.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you have survived the unimaginable. That's the one thing that no one wants to experience, that's like everyone's worst fear is having to experience exactly what you just experienced. And what sucks is having to continue on after the fact. Obviously, everyone's mourning process is different. You have to listen to yourself and what feels right to you. I know everyone's going to be dealing with anger and hurt, and I'm not shocked they're lashing out at you. I'm sure they're lashing out at themselves. I'm sure everyone's going to be angry and in fits of rage and then in fits of sadness. And it's only normal for people to want to point blame or find a reason for their anger to like unload on. It shouldn't be at you. But I think, I don't know, this is really heavy, but I feel like in situations like this, in order to move forward, you have to let the past be the past, forgive yourself, and focus on what you need to do to continue to move forward. Because in the end, that's what your loved one who's passed would want for you in the first place. And people that are, even if you want to remain a healthy relationship with his family or other people that might be pointing blame on you, it's okay to cut ties for a while, to like separate for a while and give yourself space to mourn and heal separately apart from them. I feel like people want to kind of like go through all of this stuff together, and that's not always going to be the healthiest way to do it.
Yeah.
So it's totally okay if you need to separate yourself to get yourself in a better headspace, or to honestly just mourn for the next 6 months before like allowing them to influence you or bring any more negativity into the situation in your life.
Today's episode is brought to you by Indeed. Is hiring challenging? Yes. Do you love a challenge? Also, yes. You need a hiring partner that can help you rise to the challenge. You need Indeed.
Indeed is the hiring platform where you can attract, interview, and hire all in one place. Instead of spending hours on multiple job sites searching for candidates with the right skills, Indeed's a powerful hiring platform that can help you do it all. They streamline hiring with powerful tools that can find you matched candidates. And with Instant Match, over 80% of employers get quality candidates whose resume on Indeed matches their job description the moment they sponsor a job, according to Indeed Data US. Hiring help can be so exhausting. Trying to find the right people to fit the right skills that fit the gap that you need help with is exhausting. And the thing I love the most about Indeed is that the candidates you invite to apply are 3 times more likely to apply to your job than candidates who only see it in search, according to US Indeed data. And Indeed gets you one step closer to the hire by immediately matching you with quality candidates. So join more than 3 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast.
Start hiring now with a $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/unsolicited. Offer good for a limited time. Claim your $75 credit now at Indeed.com/unsolicited. Just go to Indeed.com/unsolicited and support the show by saying you heard about it on this podcast. Indeed.com/unsolicited. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed. I mean, it sounds like it's been 2 years since she's been sober, and I think she said like when he passed, that was when that like was her wake up call.
Yeah, I mean that'll do it.
So it's definitely been a good amount of time to where I'm sure she's feeling like, okay, this is how forever is gonna be. Mm-hmm. But I also think, and you said something that like triggered my thought, because you said they probably blame themselves. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they do.
Yeah.
Like, And it's a lot easier to have a villain. Like, that's what happens in everything. You know, like, you'll see someone that's, like, abnormally upset with you about something. And I think if you take, like, 5 steps back and look at the picture, you're like, well, it makes sense because I'm the only tangible thing here to be mad at. And in reality, I'm sure they're mad at him. They're mad that he got into this. You're associated with the drugs in his life because you were doing them together. When someone is in addiction, they're not going to tell people what's going on because they don't want it to stop. They don't want people to know what's going on so that they'll get involved. So it makes sense to me that you didn't like reach out and tell the family about it because it doesn't sound like you and him were at a place where you were acknowledging that there was like a massive problem and you needed help. Usually that's when you reach out, when you're like, I have a problem and I need help, right?
Usually because something happened.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for the family members, I would not be surprised if they're kicking themselves because they're like, I ignored the signs. I had a feeling, but I never asked. Like, so a lot of that, if you can think of it that way, I feel like that would put more, instead of feeling like, I can't believe you're like mad at, like, putting all of this on me, seeing that for them, like, I can't imagine what it would feel like to lose a child. Like, they're probably holding on to anything that they have. And for them, it's a lot easier to put blame on you and to, like, channel their anger into you than to reflect it back on themselves or just to accept the fact that, like, it's happened, you know? And I'm not saying that makes it okay for you just to be everyone's punching bag. Like, obviously, you can draw your own line of, like, what you'll take or not take. But I think that if you look at it from that point of view, it would soften the way that it feels. Because I know for me, when I've had someone yell at me where I can read through it and see, like, okay, this is hurt. This isn't all the words that they're like spewing at me. They don't mean that. Like, this is hurt coming out. It makes me soften, and I'm not really listening to what they say, but I'm more just concerned about, like, are you okay? You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that there's ways that you can change the way that you think, and that can help protect yourself. I also think that you never know what chapter of someone's life they're going to get to a point where they're ready to, like, reconcile. So even like you mentioned your mom, I would continue to just give space, but also reach out, give space, reach out, and hopefully she'll get to a place one day where she's able to see how much you've changed and how much, like, you still are desiring that connection with her. As long as you, again, protect yourself, that every time you reach out, you're realizing that even if she doesn't respond to me, even if she's like, absolutely not, I want nothing to do with you, that's not a reflection on me, but I'm doing all that I can by taking this step to try to, like, repair our relationship.
Yeah. I don't know if she mentioned how long they had been addicts, but I think it's easy to forget. And it's such a good reminder that, like, any addiction, doesn't matter what it is, it doesn't affect only you. It affects literally everyone around you, everyone in your closest circle, your family members, your closest friends, obviously your partner, your kids, coworkers. It affects everybody. So I think you have to be gentle also with those people in your life because they maybe had to separate themselves from you for their own reasons, because it wasn't a good path that you were on, and it probably was a little toxic, and maybe they had to choose to be like, okay, well, they're not in a good place. I'm going to back off a little bit, and maybe you need to be a little extra gentle. I'm specifically talking about your mom right now, with her, because maybe that was something she had to do.
And she could honestly have watched what the path he went down, watched how heartbreaking that was for his mom, and for her, she was like, I can't even imagine what losing you is like. So she almost separated to be like,
I can't handle that.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's so many, obviously we don't know all the details. We don't know your mom. We don't know her thought process, but I think it is valuable. And I think people forget this, and our culture is so, like, self-love, self-focus, self-whatever, which I'm a full supporter of. But I do think we also need to be looking into the people we love and seeing, like, oh, okay, I'm understanding where they're coming from, and I don't like the way they're treating me because of it, but I'm choosing to understand that that's where you're at, that's your process, and I will control what I let get past like my wall and like really affect me. You know what I mean? And I think that like as long as you keep that balance up, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
As far as like, see, that's hard because, again, I think all of this is wrapped up. Like the fact that you moved on and found someone who's supported you and helped you through it, I think that's a blessing that you've had someone that could help you. A lot of people don't get that. But again, do I understand why that could be triggering to people in his family? Yeah. But again, that doesn't have anything to do with you. That is their own hurt coming out of they're blaming you, and then they don't have their son, so they're watching you move on and better your life while they still, at the end of the day, don't have their son. Like that's heartbreaking, and I can't imagine that. So all of that negativity that's coming towards you, you have to remember those things. Like this is so much more than just, oh, they're mad that I'm happy. Like there's so much tied to it.
Yeah, I have a close family member whose wife passed away, and the two of them, like I've grew up with them. They were just the most beautiful couple. They loved each other dearly. She passed away, and he ended up remarrying like a few years later or something like that. Apparently, his wife's family was furious with him.
Yeah.
Furious
it's very common.
with him.
It's very common.
And it's such a hot topic because so many people believe different sides of this. And I think you have to decide what feels most right with you. Obviously, you have moved on. I personally think that it's okay to find, will it be the same relationship, the same type of love that you had with your first partner? No, but I don't think that you should suffer alone the rest of your life. And I think that people come in your lives for different seasons. And my family member met the most amazing woman who also had a husband pass away. And like the two of them their relationship is so beautiful because they're able to like understand when each other needs space and understand when each other's feeling sad. And I think it's a really beautiful thing that they found each other. And I think it's okay for you, Anonymous, and for my family member to put space between the people that are maybe trying to push more judgment or hate on them, negativity on them, when you're just trying to get through life, you know? And if God dropped a little blessing in your lap to get you through the remainder of your lifetime, like how amazing is that?
Yeah.
And that's my personal hot take on it, but I think you've been given a blessing, and I'm just grateful that you have a little light in your life.
Yeah. I think too, I think it's important to also think about the perspective of what Joe would have wanted for you. Like, I guarantee he would have wanted you to like move forward, and he would be so happy and like proud. And it makes me like emotional, but like he'd be so proud of you for like getting help and getting clean and like for finding someone to be a support for you in that way. Like, so I think it's important to let the voices that matter be loud in your mind, and to like silence the voices that don't matter as much.
100%.
And I feel like you mentioned your partner now. I think you said his name was Matt. Yeah. For him, it sounds like he's already being so supportive, but you mentioned like, how do I let him understand that like I still have these big hard feelings? I think the most important thing is to have that conversation with him and just say, hey, there are times I'm still mourning. There are times when I look at my child, I still think about how their dad isn't in their life. And like, that's hard. So I would ask him, be like, I want to make sure that you always know that this is not a reflection on my happiness with you, but I have a lot of trauma that I'm gonna need to keep processing in my life, but I would like to know, how would you like me to handle that?
Yeah.
Because I can process this on my own time, or I can sit and talk with you about it, but I want to make sure I'm respecting you in this journey too.
Yeah.
And let him tell you what he wants, but trust what he tells you. If he tells you, Amanda, I want to be here for you. I want you to share that with me. I want to sit and like if you're going to cry, I'm going to sit here with you and like be there for you. Then don't question that. Like let him be there for you. And I think moving forward, as long as you guys keep that open, honest conversation, it'll be good. Yeah. And then the rest of it is going to fall into whatever it's meant to fall into. So work at the things you can control, let go of the things you can't control, and continue to focus on just growing yourself. And I do think you are Fox and you're rising out of your ashes. And I think it's beautiful and it's very impressive what you've done. So you should be proud of yourself. 2 years sober, that's a big deal. Be proud of yourself.
You're being such a great example to your guys' child.
Yeah, and of course.
Think, one day your kid's going to grow up and look back and be like, yes, this was a devastating thing that happened to my family. But if you continue down the path you're on, your kid's going to be like, but my mom was so resilient. Yep. Like she took that as a wake-up call. She changed her act. She got her life together. She found love again. She never was a bad mom. Like she even became a better mom through all of this. And like, I feel like that would be, if I were in your shoes, that would be my goal.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
Making sure my kid is like so taken care of, so loved, is so aware of what an amazing person their father was. And that they're your number one priority no matter what, and that you're sobering up for them.
Yeah. Amanda, thank you so much for sharing. I do think this is not obviously a topic that we talk about a lot, just because I'm always hesitant to talk about topics that I don't have personal experience with. But I do have personal experience with just grief and with moving on. And obviously me and Ash both, we approach every story we talk about as if you're a loved one and we're just giving what we genuinely think and feel. So I hope that throughout what we were able to say, you can take that. Obviously, make sure you have your support system in place, that you're still having someone who's watching over you. And then I think therapy is obviously an amazing thing that could help you to process just all of the things that have gone on in your life.
1000%.
But I just, my heart goes out to anyone who's dealing with addiction or has a loved one dealing with addiction. So please don't wait. Get help if you can, because there are people in your life who are there for you and want you better.
Oof, that was heavy. Take a deep breath and move on to another heavy topic. It's not as heavy as that one, but still pretty serious. Let's get into it. This one is titled, I love my boyfriend, but I don't want to marry him.
Oh,
a conundrum. They write that they'd like to stay anonymous. Your wishes are command. Let's get into the email. Dear Ashley and Taryne, hello again. It's the girl who had to coat check a bag of wet pea jeans. Do you remember that story? Or was it tearing it up?
What? Oh, coach, sorry. I'm so sorry. Excuse me, everyone. Sorry.
Wow.
That hiccup literally just slapped me in the face.
Out of nowhere.
I was not ready. Coach, yes. I do remember that. I do.
She continues, I'm so happy you both enjoyed my unfortunate saga and an update on the jeans. I still have them and the leggings I bought per the Subway mall. However, I'm writing to you today to ask for some of your wise and wonderful advice. I recently got into a relationship a few months ago during my last semester of college. It wasn't in my plans to get a serious boyfriend during this transitional time, but sometimes you just can't help it. Seriously. We fell in love hard and fast. I think it had to do with the circumstances of us graduating, but luckily we only live a 45-minute drive from each other, so we are planning to stay together. I said I love you after 2.5 months, which I know is kind of early in terms of norms, but that's how we both felt. I do love him and the time that we spend together, and he makes me very happy, but the problem is that I'm not sure I can picture him in my future. We're only 22, which is young to be thinking about this, but when I date, it's with intention, and it's with the intention of staying together long term. I always pictured myself with someone slightly older from a similar familiar and religious background, and my current boyfriend isn't any of those things. My question is, how do I focus on being happy and living for the present when I know my relationship will not work out in the future?
She knows? It says
Evidently,
I know.
It says I know. Is it okay to continue to date him even though I don't think we're going to get married? I guess life is uncertain and you never know what can happen, but I have anxiety and can't help but worry about it. How do I concentrate on being happy now and not worrying about the future? How do I not feel selfish about staying together? Thanks for all of your help and all of your amazing advice. I love you the mostest. Sincerely, Anonymous. And then she attached a bunch of pictures of her.
Cute.
Her again.
So cute.
Her again.
Gorgeous,
Her and the
honey.
boyfriend.
Oh, they're cute.
And her again.
Stunning.
First of all, you're beautiful. You and your boyfriend are cute. Congrats on graduating. All of those things.
Okay, how old is she? Did she say? 20?
If she just graduated. Oh, she said she did say. Hold on. I think it was 22. Yeah, okay. We're only 22. So I feel like I'm just going to come out and say that if you don't, there's like casual dating, which is fine if you guys are both on the same page, but you said I love you. So that's not casual dating.
Yeah.
Right. I'd be like, yeah, that's fine if he's into it being casual, sure. But you guys have said I love you, which means it's no longer casual. I do think it takes a very specific type of person to do casual dating, and you would have to find the same type of very specific person to do casual dating well. But since casual dating is not even on the table, because clearly you guys are in love and you said you fell in love hard and fast, this is actually a serious relationship. And if you don't see the relationship working out in the future, which you said you know your relationship will not work out in the future, then you have to end it.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to word that.
Yeah.
Because you said that you love him, so he thinks that you love him, and rightfully so, because you said it.
I don't know why he thinks I love him.
And, if you say you love someone, that means that you do see a future with them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I guess it doesn't guarantee a future with them, but it does say serious. It's definitely not casual. So I think you need to have a conversation with him where you say, hey,
how y'all
doing? Update on how I feel about us. Like, I love you. I'm obsessed with our relationship, but I don't think I can marry you.
Imagine.
He's going to be heartbroken because you're breaking up with him. Like, you can't say that. You can't say that.
Here's the thing. Okay. I am not one to say do this, don't do this, right? Okay? Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to say some details, and I'm going to let you choose what to do with it, because the math is not mathing for me. One of the details. You are a person who dates with intentionality. Mm-hmm. Is that a word? Mm-hmm. Okay. 2, honestly, okay, there's only 2 details. You are a person who dates with the intention of marrying a person.
Which she said.
Yes.
Yes.
On the flip side, you said that's a big word.
I know.
Not like, I'm just not sure if he's my person. You said, I know I'm not going to marry him. So you didn't share the details of that. But obviously there has to be some pretty
to know
big life differences or foundational, whatever it is.
Yeah. One of your must-haves isn't there, at least.
You're not going to marry him. To me, those don't coexist.
Yeah.
So you either are someone who dates with the intentionality of marrying, or you're just having fun and you're dating and it is what it is. But the other person needs to be aware that you're just having fun and dating and it is what it is.
Exactly. I was going to say 22 years old usually is the time where you're just dating, you're just going around having fun, getting to know people, figuring life out, nothing set in stone. And I think that's the type of person you want to be, but you're not. So I think you're wanting to have fun and this be a casual thing, and you're trying to just date around and experience life, but it sounds like you're just not that person.
Well, I think that she is, but she's feeling that pull of this is not my person. Yeah. And I think that that's okay. That's the age that happens a lot. Mm-hmm. We always talk about it. It's 18 to 25. That's when you do the most massive shift of who you are as a person.
Right.
So if you're together dating someone in the midst of those years, it is hard to end up both on, to end up both on the right same page after that chunk of, the Bermuda Triangle of dating. Now, does it happen? Absolutely. Absolutely. It is very common that you get through that age gap. You're fine. Nothing changed. You both grew in the same path.
Usually that has to do with having foundational similarities.
Yeah. Yes. But does it also not happen? Yeah. Who is a victim of it? Yours truly, okay? But the thing is right after you graduate college, that's a time where you're making lots of choices about your future job, your future friends, your future likes, dislikes, all these things. And when you're in a relationship with someone, a lot of times you're including them in your thought process of ABC. If this is not a person that you see being in your life full time, I think, one, he needs to know that so he can decide either it can be casual and fun or not. Two, this would be the perfect time to stop it so that you can go into this new chapter of a big transition like graduating college and figuring out who you are as a person and who you want to be.
Yeah.
And three, I think that you really need to decide what your motive is because and I would love to know, what makes you think that? Is it just in my gut? I feel it, which isn't accurate. That can be your only reason, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Or are there foundational things or, whatever it is? But I think you've got a lot of really big conversations that need to happen, starting with people close to you where you're weighing out all the options and you're talking about everything. But right now, the reason you feel in conflict is because you literally are. You said a lot of details about yourself that are on the polar opposite ends of the spectrum.
So no wonder you're anxious.
So, yeah, of course your anxiety is going through the roof. Yeah. You are literally ping-ponging yourself. So I think that you've got to figure out which one it is. But once you figure out where you land, he needs to know so he can make a choice if that's what he wants. Or if you decide he's not meant for you, I think mercy is probably ending the relationship so he has time to grieve and find his own path instead of dragging him along for who knows how long. And then you're like, oh, sorry, I didn't want this, but I've actually known for 2 years that I didn't want this.
Yeah.
So I just think you need to see, is this just a weird feeling I'm having? Yeah. So I'm going to give it a couple months to see if maybe I don't want to make a rash decision. But if you are no, I'm dead set on, I do not want a future with this person, then I think you've got some choices that need to be made.
Yeah. Normally I'd be definitely don't make a rash decision. Give yourself a deadline of a couple months or so. But you said, I know.
I know. You said, I know.
You said, I know my relationship won't work out in the future. So I think prolonging it a few months is a bad idea. And I think something you could maybe do to help is maybe you said, I know my relationship won't work out in the future. Maybe make a list of reasons why. And actually sit and look at them and see which ones, what's the reason? Write out the reason. And if there's anything in you that is oh, I think that's not that big of a deal, I just need to talk to him, then sure, have a conversation. But if there's things in there, even just one thing that you're that's a deal breaker for me, just end it. I feel you're just prolonging something that needs to happen anyways. Also, I think, just to clarify, when I say casually dating, I don't mean dating the same person for 3 months. I mean you're out having dates with people,
trying to figure out what
people, going out on dates to find yourself, to meet new people, to experience life. That's one thing, but having an actual relationship with someone for 3 months, that's not casual dating.
And it sounds like you're not a casual dater, which is fine.
Yeah.
I'm not a casual dater. Ash is a casual dater, and we have stark differences in the way we've dated, right? But the thing is, if you are literally saying, I don't see a future with this person, that is a casual dating realm because you just date to date. You're not thinking about the future or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's why, again, we both keep saying, you're not in... You're on opposite ends right now, which is going to be everything you do is going to be pulling one way or the other. So you've really got to sit back and figure out where you land. And if you do want to just casually date, then do that. If you don't want to casually date, do that.
You just got to pick one.
You got to figure it out. Yeah.
And then be very honest and upfront about it with the people that you're dating.
Yeah. And he
can't hide that.
He cannot be your safety while you're figuring this out out of respect for him. You've got to like let him decide what he's willing to like be involved in.
Yeah.
So I think take your time to figure out where you're at and what you want to do, and then proceed with whatever makes sense. In that.
Having gone out on so many dates through like dating apps and stuff like that, I was never more appreciative than when the guy showed up and made it very clear he's just trying to hook up, or made it very clear he's just trying to like have fun. Because I'd be like, cool, I know what category to put you in. We're going to have a good night tonight, just like getting drinks, dinner, having fun, and I'm not going to talk to you again. Like it's like, but like it was clear and obvious, and I appreciate that about them doing that, because at least I knew.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm like, okay, that's you. I'm going to go. I'm not, but like I'm going to go this way.
Yeah.
But we're still going to have fun, and we're going to like have drinks and like chat, and like, dinner will be great. Free dinner.
Yeah.
For me. And then like I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
But like if he had hid that a little bit, I might have gone out on another date with him, and then my feelings might have gotten a little stronger. And that's a waste of our time. So write out why. You know it won't work out. If it's a for sure deal breaker, just end it with him.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I saw a TikTok the other day of a girl being like, right before breaking up with someone, being like, is it hard? And then it's her like 4 months later being like, it's so worth it. Because it's so true.
Yeah,
You're so locked and stuck in this, oh my God, it's going to be so heartbreaking. But realistically, it's probably going to be a sad 2 weeks. And then you'll be right back out there living life. You're so young. I mean, you'll find other people.
The thing is yes, or you might be like, dang, I made a massive mistake and have to deal with the consequences. Either way, though, you've got to take a step. Like, you can't.
Yeah, I will say, though, I don't think it's a massive mistake if you know the relationship.
I don't think so either, but I have been in that category where I've done something and then been like, oh, I think I was too like rash. But I wouldn't do it any different, because at that place in time in my life, I needed to do something because I was having so many doubts and I was having all these like gut feelings. Mm-hmm. So either way, like, don't worry so much about like the outcome, but you've got to think about the people involved and what is like out of respect for this person that you've said that you loved. Like, he's thinking like he has security in you. So if you love someone, you want to do what's best for them and what's best for yourself. And you shouldn't be living in this place where you have anxiety and you're feeling like limbo and like, what do I do? Like, that sounds miserable. Mm-hmm. So for you and for him, I think it's best to like think through it, make a decision, and stick to it.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. And I think you have a gut feeling.
Yeah.
And you should just follow it.
Oof.
But thank you so much for writing in.
Good luck,
do think
girl.
that's a very interesting topic of like being in a relationship with someone and knowing you're not going to end up with them. Like, that's a crazy spot and space to be in life. So thank you for sharing that with us.
It is true, though. Like, if you're you just got to be on the same page. Because even me, like, I've had a couple, like, flings that I just, like, was straight up with a guy and told him, like, I'm not at a place to date. Like, right after my breakup, you know? Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm not at a place to date. But as long as you know that, we can hang out. We can, like, have fun and be flirty and, like, whatever. But we were both, like, totally on the same page. So I think it just depends. You just can't be the only one that knows that's the path it's going down, and the other person is like, oh my gosh, I'm with my like future lover.
Yeah, I found my person.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
But you're going to be great.
You're going to
thrive. You're going to honestly get on your own 2 feet, and you're going to be amazing.
If you know, just do it and move on.
Agreed.
The anxiety will go away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm actually excited for you to do this. Poor guy.
But we're sending love to him.
We should also send him some flowers.
He's something.
Poor buddy.
Something. Okay. I'm gonna say dad joke.
Lovely.
To just end us. What do you call a chicken that is staring at lettuce?
Bok choy. Bok bok. That's what I was thinking. Chicken.
Why would that make sense?
I don't know, Taryne. That was my effort in trying.
Chicken Caesar salad.
That's good.
Get it?
Yeah, that's really good.
Caesar salad. It's funny.
Guys, we did it.
Sorry. Oh my God, that was like
Into
a
the
powerful
mic.
cough.
If you made it to the dad joke, you already know we love you the mostest. Follow us on socials. We're having so much fun over there. Be sure to check out our merch. And if you have any stories that you're sitting on that you would like advice on, just take the time to write us in because we would love to read it on the pod.
Yes, please.
We'll talk to you guys later.
Love you.
Bye.